Does The Man Who Was Thursday make for a good Sunday read? Let's figure it out. Hey everybody, and welcome to the first ever episode of TBR, the 2019 season. So let me explain kind of how this show is going to work. I look at way too many book reviews. I look at Goodreads all the time. I subscribe to Book Riot. I have way too many books kind of on my radar, and I add them all to my to-be-read list on Goodreads. So I have decided to undergo the Sisyphean Herculean task of reading these books in the order that I added them to that list all the way back in 2019. So this is going back 2+ years. And the experiment is to expand my reading horizons and to figure out, why did I add these things to that to-be-read list in the first place? We're talking mysteries, romance, literature, graphic novels, kids' books, young adult, cookbooks, whatever it is I see at the time that I think looks interesting, I add to this list. And so the first book on this list is The Man Who Was Thursday, A Nightmare by GK Chesterton. Now, GK Chesterton is mostly known for his series of Father Brown novels. They've been made into a couple of different series, and it's a priest, a vicar in old-timey England, and by old-time I mean probably like the 1900s. I really don't know. He solves these mysteries, and this is what Chesterton is mostly known for. But this book is way different than that. So it follows a guy named Adrian Syme, and Adrian fancies himself a poet. So he has this big discussion at the start of the book. It takes place in kind of 1900s England, where there are a lot of bombings and a lot of revolution going on. He has this whole discussion about how a poet can be a revolutionary without causing violence. And it's this really deep kind of philosophical debate early on. But we find out as we go on, he infiltrates himself into a ring of revolutionaries. Now, here's the fun part. As he goes through the book, each of these revolutionaries is named after one of the days of the week. As he goes through the book, he realizes that every single one, or nearly every single one, of the people in the ring is actually an undercover cop like him. Does it sound confusing? Yes, it is. I'm going to be honest. This book started out great, and then it went downhill pretty quickly for me. Maybe it's because I read it on my phone. Maybe it's because it took me a while to get through with the Christmas season being busy and all of that stuff. But I really just fell out of love with this book pretty quickly. After the initial twist of him being an undercover cop, we find that out probably in the first quarter of the book, and him infiltrating, kind of pulling a switcheroo on another character and infiltrating this ring of terrorists. Every time we find out that another day of the week, another person in this ring is a cop, it becomes less and less interesting. Knowing one is fun. Knowing two are kind of cool. It gets more and more hyperbolic, or it did to me, the longer he went through this thing. And eventually, by the time he's done, people's body parts are falling off, and it becomes kind of this metaphysical thriller. I think when it was written and when it was published, some of these things were truly kind of like creepy and terrifying. But now in 2021, it just didn't play that way for me. It played off as silly. It played off as goofy. It played off as, oh, look, another one's a cop. Awesome. Thank you so much. Now, the biggest question then is, should you guys watching out there in YouTube land add it to your TBR list? And I have to say, no, I don't think you should. I don't think you're missing out by not reading this book. I think it is fine. I think there are some people who understood it more than I do. And I'm a pretty smart guy, I think. But there are some people who engaged with it more than I did, who really love it. I'm just not. I just couldn't latch on to it the way that some people did. And that is absolutely okay. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you don't add it to your to be read list, or if you do, don't blame me if you don't like it. Be sure to comment down below with other books you think I should add to the list. Remember, they'll be added in the 2021 season, so they'll be read probably a few years from now. But if you want me to eventually read them or see if they're on the list, add them in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe so you know when new videos come out. Like the video, let me know what you think, and I will see you guys next time.